Islam, Sheikh Dwayne Buffalo Bay, my Moorish American Nation and family, Islam. I'm on Arrington-Bey. I just woke up. It's about now. I got up about 8:30. I've been waking up off and on. It is Moon Day. I'm at Extended Stay America in Annapolis, Maryland. Imani Gray Bay has gone to earn money. Let me turn on the and this is my lounge wear. And like I said, I just woke up, so this is how I look when I wake up. And I'm drinking mushroom coffee. I like mushroom. I like mushroom coffee. It's really good. So this is four segmented mushroom coffee. We had mushroom cocoa yesterday. It was so good, Imani and I. It was so yummy. Hold on. I am at Extended Stay America. I open the window because I'm going to read and I need to have the sunlight because on my eyesight. That's why I open the window. It's so uh, my face is puffy because I just got up. Yeah, hopefully, oh no, anyway, it's okay. So let me explain some things that I noticed I've experienced mentally and spiritually. I'm in Extended Stay America off of 120 Admiral Cochrane Drive. And um, hold on, something it sound like as I'm talking, someone just came outside. No, it's the Black African American Negro rep. That's Extended Stay staff. I think she said something about beautiful. African American rep. Um, I don't know. I think she's African American. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I never asked her if she has a nationality. I have never asked her, so I don't know. I think so according to constitutional law, she would be, if she's African American, she would be considered Black Negro, according to constitutional law. So I don't know though. She doesn't sound like she has an accent to me. Possibly, I don't know. Anyway, that would sound like that was her. And when I wake up on the weekend, early in the day, sometimes I hear, not just her, but other extended stay staff go up and down the hall. Like I think just a little while ago when I woke up, as I experienced a forced thought of what I was dreaming. It's like an experiment of a forced thought. Sound like I could be wrong, but it sounded like one of them extended stay the male staff. A lot of times when I'm walking, coming in from work, he's either standing outside or he's. But I could be wrong. Might not have been him, or he's either in the lobby. I forgot what is his name. I forgot her name too, but it sounded like him. And walked by and said he did it. I could be wrong though. I'm not. That's why I'm not accusing. What I'm going to talk about now is the invasion of thoughts and how to manipulate the mind. So, Imani Gray Bay and we still don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis. No one here in Annapolis can say that we know them personally, and I'm going to try to make it quick because I'm I'm taking the herbs. No one, but I know that I'm not saying everyone here has the telepathic code, but I know that we are among a world that have the telepathic code. And not only that, in Annapolis, the Navy, the Army is prevalent. Okay, so let me go from there. So it's once and again, I'm going to start off again saying I woke up. I did have invasion of thoughts and dreams, like me asking a Black Negro, they give me a ride, a version of me doing this, um, and some other dreams, and this now The first shift starts around 7, I think, and so it's about nine. It's 9:20, approximately 9:27 now, and this happens also in the middle of the night. And it's interesting because a lot of times someone is turning on and off the water or opening. So what they're doing is with the door is this. This is what they're doing with the door. This is what they're doing with the door. And so this is what we hear in the middle of the night. Someone is opening and closing the door. All right? Like that. So there's a pale skin that's sometimes walking with the extended stay staff, the other extended stay staff male, with a black book bag on, saying something about something just pops in your mind. A lot of times, when I give testimony about the Black Negro or African American, especially connected to the military or just regular ones, um, um, this TV is on, and then all of a sudden, pale skins that look to be, I want to say, definitely mentally ill or mentally imbalanced. Um, Maybe look unkept, and this is literally after I like giving testimony about African American, Black Negro, and then the Hispanic, but predominantly it's after the Black Negro and the Hispanic. Predominantly out of those two is the Black Negro. A pale skin that looked unkept or mentally not stable, will be walking in front of me or walking towards me and might say good morning, or around me. A lot of or pale skin, predominantly males. And usually, once again, the TV is on in the lobby at CNN or some form of news or some form of live satellite at extended stay. Just like at Burger King. Not all the time the TV is on at Burger King, but a lot of times it has been. And then many people watch TV. This room has a TV, but we don't use it. We unplugged it years ago when we first came to Annapolis. Maybe about 4 or 6 months when we first came to Annapolis. So what I'm going to talk about right now is, once again, Imani Gray Bay and I, we don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis, Maryland. We don't know anyone personally here, but yet we still hear African American, Black, Negro accents around the room, saying brother, I love you. The Hispanics accent or Spanish speaking accent saying we paid, I paid, and also pale skin accent saying the number 3 and so forth. Literally hearing definitely has like a robot, like that. My tablet was start acting up or freezing up. My tablet messed up. In Annapolis, when I started to give testimony of the best description of what I would say humanoid robots, it was, I did it before over $100 was stolen from my account. Literally, pretty much while we were called, it was like maybe 20 minutes after we were calling Bank of America. It's like, I was so surprised, like, how did this happen? Because it's like, we're thankful for the money we make in Monty Gray Bay and I, but we, over, we don't, compared to others, he works at Wendy's, I work at Burger King, minimum wage, as far as I know, that's what was on my check stuff. We don't make a lot of money, but over $100 was stolen from my account. And once again, when I was calling Bank of America, someone was walking up and down the hall saying they did it. Okay. Um, and also, in that, in reference to humanoid robots. So if humanoid robots are trying and being used by a government, just like I in my thoughts, the robots on TV are artificial intelligence. They're nothing special. They are definitely some form of a robot on TV that's been transformed. So if the robots can take money out your account, they definitely can put money in your account. Islam, they can put money in your account, and if a government that is outside of law, natural law, constitutional law is involved in reference, especially in reference to sex trafficking, transforming men and mankind, their thoughts and so forth, then they or sex trafficking kids, Islam, um, through different forms of satellite and so forth. Definitely humanoid robots. If they can take money out your account, stop some form of money transaction coming to you, they definitely can put money, lots of money in your account. Islam. And so I think there's some criminal issues going on in Annapolis, not just in Annapolis. And I think it's involving unnaturalized military, police, and so forth in Annapolis. But it's not just here. I think it's going on many places in reference to the humanoid robots. And I think is in the cases like Texas, where electricity went out and almost all over the almost the entire state. I think a lot of criminal activities in reference to electronic transactions were going on, and other things in reference to the humanoid robots, and they got out of hand. I think a lot of things got out of hand so bad in Texas, and Texas is an example of how these humanoid robots can be used to shut down electricity, which connects to water, the water pumps, food, and so forth, and cause real chaos and disease, spreading of disease and viruses, fatality, and so forth. Okay, so that's what I think is going on. What I think happened in Texas. And Texas is a predominantly melanated, what I remember, it could have changed, melanated state where you have a lot of Mexicans, immigrants coming from other places, African American, and so forth. So I find that interesting because not just in Texas, I think Arizona, California, you have a lot of immigrants, melanated African American. And I'm not excluding the pale skin. I'm not. But the reason why I'm giving testimony about the pale skin, because it is, as much as I can, the melanated, because it is the melanated that a government is using the most. Whether that government is another melanated version or pale skin, but it is the melanated that they're using the most, because they are definitely trying to demonstrate a form of status and what and how they can use. And yes, they use pale skin, but they use the pale skin. Definitely, the pale skin is usually unkept, or if they have some money, they still are some form of transformed mankind of some sort. You understand? So, but it is the melanated that I've noticed that a government, which is connected to the TV, a satellite, unnaturalized military, is using the most. And then it's a recycling of a false reality of what's really going on. And so what the TV does, for instance, in Black History Month, that they call in February, is replace different form of energy or pullers, or emotion pullers, like compassion, sympathy. Um, like when I would be watching a movie on my tablet, in between the movie, 'cause I watch free movies. I have two free stations, two free apps, so I can pull up free movies. But in that there's a commercial in the middle, and artificial intelligence definitely can has manipulated a tablet where I might see military ads constantly, or immigrant ads. Like this one immigrant ad, it's like, don't accuse us or don't blame us unless you walk in our shoes. Okay, so what they do is, a lot of times, in reference to hiding truth of what's really going on, and especially in reference to unclean, unnatural spirits, the TV, which is media, which is connected, which when you watch is a way to program your mind, pulls out any emotions of what a false reality is. So they know, if they know they're using illegal immigrants or African Americans that are outside of constitutional law, is no different than a Mexican, a Hispanic. I don't care if they're like, I've been here. We bled on this landmass, but they are no different, and when they are outside of constitutional law, than that which came over here from Pakistan, India, China, Japan, and that has not been naturalized. So a true reality, you see spiritually and mentally that a transformed mankind and man is being used to attack the mind, to rape and molest and encourage different forms of criminal activity. Not only that, transform into a robot, whatever kind of being, a species, a brother, and they being used to subjugate and to promote a low frequency, false reality of way of life. Okay, but what the TV will do, okay, when you start demonstrate to replace the spirit of truth, okay, because see, when they are trying to hide truth, what they're doing is they are attacking natural law. And in natural law, there's the high frequency of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So they're trying to replace that high frequency of natural laws that governs the earth and the universe and harmonize with the earth and the universe with a low frequency. Hold on. The African American, I think she is rep at Extended Stay, is talking again. I'm not sure if she's African American. So what the TV will do is replay a false reality of what's going on, like playing empathy as don't accuse don't blame us unless you walk in our shoes, as immigrants, or Black History Month. Did you know in 1944 this African American woman, when she was surrounded by whatever stories that they can to pull off that false reality of what really is going on. And not only that, and then you have kids in school, so then they reiterate it again through history books or teachings or public school teachings of so it's a program. Islam, a program of a false reality of what is really and truly is going on. Islam. And so this is why in the spirit of truth I am, as much as possible, I definitely make sure I give testimony about the melanated, because it is definitely the melanated that has been the most violent, being used to demonstrate violence, okay? Whether it's sexual, mental engagement. And that, when I say melanated, I'm referring to the African American, Black Negro, that is unclean and unnatural in spirit, and that which could be from that speak Spanish, or and others, but definitely Asian. Okay, the Asian that Asian background or community is definitely a unclean spirit. Not all of them, and I'm not putting all those that speak Spanish in one category. Notice I say unnatural and unclean. If you're not unnatural and unclean, then you know I'm not talking about you. Okay, but when you are unclean and unnatural, and not only that, disease and full of viruses, and you start to speak up, you start talking, you start to feel offended. The TV is you be constantly trying to show some form of ads to keep the program going and the people. Then you know that 9 times out of 10, either they know they have put spirits in that telepathic code that is unclean and unnatural, and or individually, when others feel offended, they say a hit dog will holler. They said hit dog. When you shoot a dog, okay, you shoot a dog, and the dog starts, oh, 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 they're gonna holler. Islam. So I use unnatural, unclean spirits. I say those words in disease and full of disease and viruses for a reason, because I'm speaking the spirit of truth. Just because someone is unclean, just because someone has a disease and maybe inflicted with a disease and a virus, doesn't make them unclean. That person could be in a process of healing, and they are trying to find different ways of healing that individual. Okay, there's a difference between being unclean and full of viruses and diseases, and you are being used, and you are a part of the agenda to spread diseases and viruses, than a person who is an individual who is inflicted, okay, with a disease and virus, and they are trying to heal themselves, or they maybe feel they don't have a way to be healed. Islam. But unfortunately, with the program that that has been done to masses of people through, this is my belief, a telepathic code. In that telepathic code, there are different strands. Islam. Different strands of that telepathic code to create a whole new species of being with thoughts of a low frequency, a low realm. Then I think it could be a challenge for that which is outside of natural law, if they inflict it, to break free from that cycle of being in the medical system, or being used as energy, or playing into the fact of the whole program that an entity have created to attack what is true, what is lawful, and what is organic, which is natural laws that governs and harmonizes with the spirit of planet Earth, with Earth and the universe. The universe is huge. We just, we in one solar system, but there are many solar systems. Islam. And I should say, we usually look at one solar system, but there are many. So, what I noticed is in reference to my thoughts being invaded, and I'm studying thought. Hold on. Hold on. One moment. We haven't used make sure I'm covered. I haven't used sugar in a while. I use honey. Honey is what I use all the time. So yeah. It's been years, I want to say, since I used white sugar. Honey, and then almond milk. So I'm getting back. So when you're trying to transform man and mankind into a form of a robot that you can use, a form of a robot of some sort that you can use, then that will demonstrate a false reality and a false and a low frequency, okay, of this natural or I should say I don't even want to use the word natural, low frequency of what can be perceived as law, a color of law, the spirit of truth, the spirit of freedom, or I should love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So it's not real, because the world that you are in and the frequency you are exhibiting is low, and the world that you're in is created. It's not a world that is built on truth, on the high frequency of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So when you're trying to keep the frequency low on planet Earth, an entity, an unclean, filthy, abomination spirit, and you want to continue to exist, what are some of the acts and behavior or implementations will you do? You're going to start. So what I've seen is an entity, an abomination, unclean spirit, unnatural spirit, have started to transform men and mankind through thoughts and different external ways into a form of artificial intelligence or a robot sort of and way of living. And then have robots or humanoid robots slowly putting them on a first class citizen level to control them. Islam? To control. So that that which they have transformed would be used. So once again, if a humanoid robot can take money or out of your account or stop the flow of finances, which if you're trying to provide for your family and so forth, they definitely can put money in your account. Let me continue. I'm looking at myself and I'm like, gosh, I don't look too cute. Yeah, but it's okay. Face look round, I look round. It's like, okay. It's okay. She doing about for day. I'm not trying to look cute right now, and I'm okay. I'm okay with how I look right now. So let's see here. In my Moorish American Nation. So in my mind, let me back up. Make sure I don't because I hear some feedback and I want to complete my thoughts. Okay. Interruption of thoughts is definitely a tactic used. Okay, so getting back. So I give testimony of truth spiritually and mentally about predominantly that which have been the most that attacked, because I'm giving this it's the truth. So if you develop a telepathic code with different strands, okay, so not only you you develop a code, okay, the word code, CODE, you have computer code, and you you have learned how to harness unclean, unnatural spirits in that code, and then you distribute the code to masses of people to help keep them on a low frequency so they do not develop individual thoughts that will connect them back to their divine self, which is connecting them back to natural law, harmonizing in those divine energies of natural law. So, because in natural law, there's no bondage. The spirit of freedom exists. So it's important that I keep saying that. I got to remember, because in Annapolis, those that speak Spanish, they always keep saying, in the Black Negro, I've heard this many times, he sold you. So when they keep saying he or they sold you, they are definitely implying Moors, and they're definitely implying that you, Sheikh Dwayne Bafabé, sold you. These are unclean, unnatural spirits I'm speaking of. So what they're trying to do is keep saying it to implement a form of bondage. So if I can accept that there was some form of money transaction, a spiritual money transaction in reference to me, then I'm also accepting through my intellect that I was possessed, or a possession of like Sheikh Dwayne Bafabé, you possessed me, or I was something to be sold and bought. The Moorish American National Public was something to be sold and bought to them. They had some form of, it's like I am property. And then so what happens is the next step they'll start saying is we paid. Okay, so then if I accept that there was some form of transaction spiritually, yes, spiritually and mentally, there could be transactions done. Yes, it could be. Yeah, definitely. I'm not exempt. But this is in reference to a program of thoughts in my mind, because this is how a program of bondage and accepting of bondage happens. Islam. So if I can accept, once again, that there's some form of transaction being done, okay, in reference to me, okay, especially with the mental attacks, the forced engagement of the body sheath, if an African American male black Negro male or that speaks Spanish on the physical plane becomes too aggressive, if I can accept that I am property, okay, then that there was some form of transaction. And the next step, they keep saying, like I have given testimony, I paid, or that's money. I hear them saying that's money, okay? Then what they have done is, and if I say and I start saying, how could you do this? How did you pay? How did you accept money from me? How? Why would they do this? And then, or I'll just, go, be upset about it, whatever. What I have done is taken myself from that natural law of freedom. When you are a free energy, a free being, no one can pay and buy you. But through programming of thoughts, you can then, in your acceptance of that world, because they're trying to amalgamate a world of bondage, then that can happen. So, in that places me in a unnatural world, unclean world, abomination world, that is full of unclean, foul spirits that are implementing bondage outside of natural law. So when I keep going back to our 5 divine principles and how our 5 divine principles are high frequency and in that spirit of truth, then that keeps me harmonizing in natural law, Islam. So that's what is actually going on in reference to programming. Not only that, when I disconnect and remove and do not accept that there is a payment. Now, I'm not saying that these things does not happen, or I'm not saying it did or does not, because I don't know. As your wife, Sheikh Dwayne Bey, I don't know, right? All I could do is go by, because this is in reference to spiritual and mental thoughts of different payments and so forth. Okay, all right. So, but what I can do is demonstrate how unclean spirits can demonstrate a form of payment and how they can pay. Okay, and I can exclude myself from it. And when I say I don't know, what I'm saying is there's different ways, Islam, that you can experience payments from unclean energies, unclean spirits. There is, but if a celestial being is involved, then and that celestial being is and know. The National Grand Sheik said, be what you know. They are in natural laws, and in natural law is freedom. Then that payment or whatever has taken place, that puts that Moor who has fallen from grace accountable for their actions and what they have done and allowed to happen. And also what that does, in reference to the celestial being who is being what they know, such as myself and Imani Gray Bay in Natural Law of Freedom, it turns the spirit, it evokes the spirit of truth of what's really going on, being among unclean, unnatural spirits, and the prophecy of their destruction. Islam. So when I focus, when I say you, I'm saying I and those that have the thought focus on natural law, what happens is there is a switch that turns on in truth. And so you are able to invoke what has already been destined to happen, which is the destruction of unclean and unnatural spirits and they filthy abomination kids. Islam. Because they are outside of natural law. Outside of natural law, that they are against this earth, the spirit of earth, in the universe. Islam, they are literally at war. They're not in peace, because if they were in peace, they would be harmonizing. So when you in the spirit of peace, you harmonize with earth and the universe. Islam, when you in the spirit of peace. But when you're not in the spirit of peace, Islam, then you are against peace. You are against, and you are in chaos, and you are going against that which is peaceful. Islam, and in natural law, there's a high frequency of peace. So they are not in the spirit of peace. They are not in the spirit of truth, and they are not in the spirit of justice or freedom. So they are definitely an enemy of that which is natural, that which is free, organic, and that's harmonizing in natural laws. Well, so I'm going to stop there, because I'm looking at the time, and I'm going to start another one. Islam, it is March the 28th, 2022.